Here's something in the new age that nobody really likes to talk about, and it's about the limitations of these very well-known popular teachers. Now, these giants of manifesting, Neville Goddard, Joe Dispenza in particular, they're not taking you where they think they are. Their frameworks have a definite concrete structural ceiling that's going to cause their students to hit, then plateau, and then spend years cycling through different techniques wondering what they're doing wrong. And today I'm going to show you exactly where that ceiling is so you understand it. You can see it once and for all. You'll realize that their tools, in fact, all techniques become irrelevant at a certain point. And I'm going to show you exactly where you can go next. So stay with me, because the answer is not another technique. We need to move on from techniques. We need to move beyond them and move into a deeper awareness, which is something that nobody can give you. You have to give it to yourself. And by the end of the video, you'll understand exactly why. Let's start with Dispenza and a certain approach to his work. So his framework is built upon scientific validation, peer-reviewed evidence that meditation produces real neurological shifts. And he uses that evidence to tell you, look, this is what it is, this is how it works, and here's the proof. But there is a mechanical problem with that, in that reality, as you go further into it, you'll realize it's a state of consciousness where we create our own reality as we do a dream. Your own thoughts, expectations, and beliefs create the environment and the effects, very importantly. Now, this isn't a metaphor, it's a structural description of how consciousness operates. You are the dreamer, the creator. Everything in your experience, the people, the circumstances, the physical world, the computers, the evidence on the computers, the science that measures it, these are all experiences that you are generating from your own state of consciousness. And the dream does not exist independently from the dreamer. So here's the question that exposes once you get into this deep enough, which is Dispenza's ceiling. Because if you are the one that's creating the dream, which you are, the state of consciousness, if the brain scan and the computer screen, the measurable results are all content within your consciousness, which is generating them, how can you use them to validate the consciousness that it created? It just turns back on itself. The fact is, you cannot use the dream to prove that you are a dreamer. And the point we need to understand is that we create our own unique personal reality based on our own power and abilities. So if you have experienced a healing of some kind through Dispenza's work, understand this. Dispenza, the process, the technique did not heal you. The meditation or whatever it is did not heal you. You healed you. The technique was simply the context you needed. You gave yourself permission to believe in your own natural abilities enough to create the healing. Once you understand it and genuinely know it, then the need for any external technique or scientific proof simply dissolves no matter who you are. That's the ceiling. So Joe Dispenza's framework points at a door, but it's still using the dream as the measure of the dreamer. And you cannot get through that door through his techniques. Now, Neville was definitely closer, in my opinion. His core teaching, that reality is a state of consciousness, genuinely points to a stage 3 awareness where consciousness is the primary creator. He pointed to an idea where the inner world is causative, the outer world is the effect. But that in itself is where the ceiling occurs, because it's where it falls short. He didn't realize that there is no outer world, that you right now are in your own mind. You are in your own state of consciousness, like a dream. So he gave people techniques and not that awareness. The greatest growth is when you step into that awareness. It makes all the techniques irrelevant. Techniques like imagining the end or feeling it real, sleeping in the state, makes sense when you don't understand it's a state of consciousness. But when you do, you realize that consciousness is the primary power. You have the power to use that without any techniques at all. But if you don't, then you end up just going in circles like so many of his students do. Neville made you a student of technique, not self-actualization. By the time you genuinely move to understand that this is a state of consciousness, consciousness first, you will never need Neville's techniques or anybody else's. So here's a big question. What happens when you let go of it all? No teachers, no techniques, no science to validate you, no frameworks to follow, no meditations to do at particular times of the day, just you and reality. Knowing that your beliefs create your experience completely. And I know that's the leap that a lot of you have to take. Just you and your own reality, your ability to create what you want, this being a state of consciousness. Knowing that your beliefs create your experience in totality. that you are in your mind right now, and you have all the wisdom of any unlimited and timeless soul. That confrontational point will come for you, as it has for me, where there is nothing external left to defer to, no teacher, no power, and that cannot be downloaded or handed to you in some kind of strategy or some kind of technique. That's the entry point. It's the only entry point to understanding the nature of reality. And the only way to reach it is to do all of it, every confrontation with your own operating beliefs, until you've moved through enough of it that you can experience this as the state of consciousness that it is. Stage 3 consciousness, that it's consciousness first, like a dream. It's not an achievement, it's just a natural progression. It's what remains when the trying and the techniques all stop, where you stop giving your power away to other people, when you open the door to a much, much deeper awareness. So let's move into these stages. I do cover them more deeply in another video that I'll link up. Stage 1 is where reality is happening to you. Stage 1 awareness. You're a victim of circumstance. Science at this stage feels like a salvation. This is where 99% of reality are, whether they think of themselves as spiritual or not. This is where Joe Dispenza's science results sit. Stage 1, consciousness. Stage 2, you've discovered that physical reality responds to you in some way, shape or form. You know that reality is a mirror of you in some fashion, that your identity is not limited to physical reality, but you're still reacting to the reflection. You're still doing affirmations, visualizations, meditations. You're looking for scientific proof. This is where the New Age is right now, and where the vast majority of the manifestation space lives permanently, round and round in circles. The tools feel really sophisticated. The names are sophisticated. The ceiling is the same. In stage 3, you realize there's no barrier between the mirror and you. There is no mirror. There's just you. This is where your consciousness extends beyond the 5 senses, but includes physical reality also. This is the multi-dimensional experience. This is where it begins. You fully experience and understand that you are the dreamer. You and your reality are one. Science here is pointless, as are all the spiritual techniques, because you're a conscious creator. You realize that you create the effects of science. You create the effects of those beliefs. You create your own reality in each moment. Stage 4 is where the species is going, the multi-dimensional experience in full awareness. You're consciously aware of this and other realities simultaneously. Your powers are in full flow, growing as you increase your ability to manipulate consciousness. There are no problems here at all, and spiritual creativity is in full conscious flow. The entire architecture of fixing and saving just collapses, pointless. The premise that something needs to change out there becomes pointless, because you realize that you and your reality are one, of course. Every state of consciousness is expressing itself perfectly. The species is in a process of its own, so there is no error to correct. There is only the choice of which state, which probable reality are you inhabiting in each moment. And if you want to know exactly where you are to get more information, there is a 4 stages cheat sheet to download in the description, and I break down each stage step by step, the operating beliefs running at that level, while the tools work at one stage and actually become obstacles at the next stage. So you can download it and find your ceiling. So that's it for this video. The 4 stages cheat sheet is in the description. So if you, like so many people, have been cycling through technique after technique after technique, year after year, wondering what you're missing, well, that document and this video, I hope, has helped you understand that a little bit more. And if this is the type of conversation you've been looking for, spiritual mechanics, consciousness, identity, understanding how you create your own reality, do consider subscribing to the channel. We're here on 4 videos every single week, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.